Josephine and Jocelyne join us now to share a bit of their story and bring an update on recent developments regarding the Government of Canada. Welcome to Full Circle, girls.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Now, you were born in Burundi.
That's right.
Okay, but your family is from Rwanda.
Yes. That's right.
All right, so you're 7 and 8 of 10 children, is it?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Wow. Take us back to 1994 and your family at that time.
1994, that's when we actually went back to Rwanda after being in Burundi, born in Burundi as refugees. Because our parents, 1959, there was a first genocide really in Rwanda, where about 200,000 people flee to the neighboring countries in Burundi or Tanzania, or they're just the neighbors of Rwanda. So our parents went to Burundi, and that's where we were born as refugees. It was very difficult. I mean, you had to have a greater the grades. You have to have 90% to move ahead instead of having the regular grades in the class to move as refugees. So it was very difficult then. But during that time, our parents, our brothers were trying to see how can you go back home. I mean, you want to go back home where you feel like you belong. It was difficult because the government in Rwanda would say there's not enough land. We can't. We're too poor. So they formed a little party where children wanted to bring their parents home. My brothers went with our PF, which is a group of Tutsis that were trying to go back home. And in 1994, we went after the genocide, after seeing so many deaths and just bad experience.
So you were there, though, at the time of the genocide, because talk about the bus.
We were in Burundi at the time, but the genocide in Rwanda was spreading over to Burundi as it has political issues for the Hutu and Tutsis. So we were affected by it just the same in the country. So we were taken in the bus, going to be killed. I would go to school.
What were they going to do to you? Let me say that because I remember how old we were 14, and we were going to actually a church Saturday.
Choir practice.
Yes, that's right. You remember that.
I will never forget this story.
So we're just in a hurry going, in the bus, and as soon as we got in, we saw the faces, and everyone there Hutu. We can tell in Hutu Tutsi because of our features. So they saw us, and you can see the faces, the bitterness, the anger. So what are these girls doing in this bus? And they start talking up themselves, saying, oh, you know what, we're going to kill you. At that time, people, they're dying. They will take tires and they will put it inside of you and they will burn it. Me and Josephine, they're going to take us in a tank of oil and they put right in. They fry you alive.
Boiling oil.
Exactly. So that's what they said they were going to do with you on this bus ride.
Yeah. So they took over, they drive and drive. On our stop sign, we cling, cling, we're getting off. We say, no, we're taking you to be killed. And we knew people that are going to be killed in Kamenge. That was a little small neighborhood. So we said, God, do something. We don't want to die. 14 years old, we're going to practice.
You must have been terrified.
I was terrified. I said, God, do something. If you give us life, we will serve you forever. I remember saying that. God, we don't want to die. So they said, these girls are Christian. We had our Bibles in our hands, and I said, we don't hate you, we love you. We're more inside than outside. And I realized, you know what? Let's not kill these girls. We'll get to the next. So they stopped. Actually, they didn't stop, but slowly stop, opened the door, and threw us right on the ground. And we were saved. We went to church. We told everybody. It was the moment of the testimony saying God can do, still can do miracles.
I've just got to say this, P.S., because it's Mother's Day. I didn't realize how much your mother, through all the moving and all the hardship, your whole family at one point was in one little place, all sleeping on the floor. Your mother never ceased to reach out to the needy, and that has so been passed on to you.
And as we were talking about earlier, guys, we were talking about single mothers. She was a single mother with 10 kids, with no job, no money, but she managed with her big heart. She's called Mama Yesu, Jesus' mom, in the village because she just helps everyone.
I couldn't believe that. You said you hadn't eaten for days, and she'd still be helping people eat and in every way that she could. That's incredible. What an example.
She always told us it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, people are less fortunate than what you are, and you can always do and extend grace.
And is that, and so with that mom as a model, an example, you know, walk us through now what you're doing. I mean, first of all, how did you get to Canada, and now the work that you're doing here?
I don't know how to start with Canada. It was a miracle because to come to Canada, this beautiful country that I dreamed many, many times to come to.
She was 14 years old.
I had a dream to come to Canada. I told Mom, we're going to Canada. She's like, okay. How much money? We're minus $1 million. Like, where are you going? We had a visa like this because we happened to be twins wearing the same clothes. They go, oh, aren't you guys so cute? We're like, oh my gosh, we're getting a visa. This woman just to give us a visa, and we're like, $5,000, where is it coming from? Everything was just dropped in our lap, miracle after miracle, and we're here. And I'm like, what are we gonna do, Joe? Sit down, do nothing with our lives? There's so much we can give back to this country. Even in Canada, there's so much need. So we're doing it because we want to, we love to, and it's inside in us.
And your
our
heart is all about giving back to your country of Rwanda, blessing the children there. Your organization is called Shelter Them.
Yes.
And so we just want to give a shout out to that, and just log on to our website, crossroads.ca, if you want a link to their website and how you can help them out with that. But I know with the genocide has once again been in the news with our Governor General of Canada, Michael Jean, just this past week made an apology, a public apology. And I think I want to have that come up on the screen because I want you to see this. She said, the world's failure to respond adequately to the genocide is a failure in which Canada, as part of the international community, readily acknowledges its fair share of responsibility. That is monumental, to have a government official say, yes, Canada says we should have done something with the international community. We should have been there for you, and we are sorry. What does that do for you? What do you think of that apology?
I'm so proud of her, and I hope that many Canadians feel the same way, because I understand Canadians people are giving. There are people who love to help the world. But the media failed. Like, if there was a lot of media telling Canadians, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, they would have done something. Like the acting and the other parts of the world, but there's not enough coverage. Rwanda was just, another country in Africa that has a mess. We can't get involved. So with her comment, we hope people are going to come forward and say, now, we're here. We can join Josephine and Jocelyne through Shelter Them and go help this country that's still fighting a lot of problems and issues.
Now, quickly, you have a jar on your lap. We're running out of time. I just want you to say, what is this all about?
This is the 100 Days of Change campaign. 100 Change has two meaning words. Change is your money, my money, and change is change them. So during 100 days where 10,000 people died in a day, we want to say, here's $1, $20, $100, $1 million. If it would take all Canadians, put a loonie, we could have changed the entire nation.
And what are they helping? So the aftermath of the genocide, what is this money going towards to do?
The money is going towards our programs. We run 3 homes. One home, it's 4 boys. The other, it's 4 girls. The other, it's 6 brothers and sisters whose mother died giving a birth to little one, Joshua. So, and in the orphanage of 45 children. So that goes to those programs, which cost over $62,000 a year to cover everything. Means from home, education, food. So this is what we're doing, because genocide happened, took lives, but there are more lives now in Rwanda. Unless we do something, lives are being taken away.
I love that the 100 days is displacing the days of devastation.
That's right.
Yes.
And
With
your
restoration.
website again, I just want to get
that's
that in
right.
one more time.
www.shelterthem.com, a registered charity with issue tax receipts. Let's commemorate life by giving.
Jocelyne and
You guys are so
Josephine, thank you for being with us on the couch.